Back at you again, the Happy Camper Radio Show, episode 280. I'm Skip. I am a happy camper. And Daniel, he is a happy camper too.
Yeah.
It's been a few weeks.
Yep.
And wow, Daniel, I really missed the studio. I really did. I was in here this morning preparing for today's show.
Yeah.
And I says, I'm just so eager to get back into it.
Yeah, we got a lot to say. It's
almost exciting as going on a camping trip.
Yeah, we're doing that next week.
We got a big one coming up here. Yeah, the one down in Brunswick, Georgia for the Grand Design Rally.
There you go.
The SEGA Rally. We'll be talking about that and a few other things. Stick around for us today on this edition of Happy Camper Radio Show. I know you're going to enjoy it.
Happy Camper Radio.
And as always, the Happy Camper Radio Show can be heard all around the world by great listeners like yourself. You can find us in any one of the podcast directories out there. Chances are you're going to find Happy Camper Radio when you plug that into your search engine.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And of course, we're on the web 24/7 at www.happycamperradio.com. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on X. And of course, you want to see Daniel and I in the studio or out on the road because, yes, we're going to be doing a show down there.
Oh, are we going to do a time lapse like Daniel, we did for the camping show?
Weather permitting now.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we're going to do a show down there. Okay.
I meant the time lapse, like driving down there, like when we went to the camping show. Remember, you had your GoPro on the dash as we were driving down 285 and everything.
Well, Daniel, I'm not too technically inclined about doing those kind of things because the camera falls every time.
Yeah.
No, but I'll tell you, if you want to enjoy watching the Happy Camper Radio Show, you can do that by subscribing to our YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.
Find us there and click on the little box right down here in the lower right-hand corner, and you'll be a subscriber to the show. Never miss a single episode.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Daniel, I'll tell you, I am relieved. Okay, because we talked on the last program, and I informed all of our listeners too that I was going to take a break because we had a trial coming up.
Yep.
Okay, and that was the one involving the murder of my daughter that occurred 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to get a camping trip in before then.
Right.
Okay, because I wanted to relax. I had family coming into town, had brother-in-law coming into town, and I really look forward to seeing them.
Yeah.
Okay. But I went ahead and I took some time to go back up to Lake Lanier. It was my first camping trip this year, and it was also the campground that I first went to when I bought my Trans End Explorer. MK200. Yeah. This time I was on the other side of the lake, and I was at a much better campsite.
Okay.
And had a better view of the lake.
Nice.
But I got there, it was on a Monday, and I got all set up. Now I got to take my time getting set up because, it's like a kid in a candy store. You're really looking forward to it, and the weather was beautiful too.
Oh, no rain.
No rain. No. Okay, but I'm going to get into that. All right. But anyway, I get there and I'm all set up, and I'm thinking, we got a week away until the trial, so I got time to spend up here and relax a little bit. No sooner did I get set up there at the campground, and I pull out my recliner, and I'm fixing to just relax and just let the stress come rolling off my shoulder. Yeah. I get a call from the district attorney's office. And I was told that the very next day there was going to be a hearing. It was already scheduled. The defendant in this case decided he was going to accept the state's plea deal and plead guilty to serve 25 years straight time.
Yeah.
Now, Daniel, I didn't get what I was looking for, okay? I was hoping for something more than that.
Yeah.
All right, but 25 years is a very long time.
Oh, yeah.
It's a long time to be away from everyday life.
Yeah.
I wouldn't wish that on anybody but him.
Yeah.
Okay? But anyway, here I am. I'm already set up at camp. Do I take everything down? Do I drive back in? What I ended up doing is I talked with the assistant district attorney, and the judge allowed me to appear the next day by Zoom.
Oh, okay.
So I had my iPhone, and I was actually in the courtroom inside my RV the very next day. And I was there for that plea deal. My brother was on Zoom from the city of Pittsburgh. And I got my say, of course. And when all was said and done, the judge handed down the gavel, and it was 25 years straight time. So, I can say this, Daniel, I'm glad that chapter is closed.
Yeah.
All right. There's never going to be closure, but this I don't have to worry about anymore. And it wasn't until it was all over, Daniel, that I realized that the weight that I have been carrying on my shoulders here
I bet.
for the past 3 years. It was, I have been decompressing, and I'm still decompressing right now.
Well, it's an up and down thing, I mean, I don't want to get into it. I mean, we both know what's happened, but it's been a roller coaster to say the least.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But
So-
if I didn't have this show, if I didn't have camping, if I didn't have my RV, if I didn't have a great friend like yourself, Daniel, I'd be a basket case.
Yeah.
I do
imagine.
have a lot to look forward to.
Yeah.
And folks, I hope that nobody has to go through what I went through, but stay active, stay busy. All right, do the things you enjoy doing.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and I can't say any more about that.
Mm-hmm.
But I was able to enjoy the next few days up there on Lake Lanier. Now you talk about weather being nice.
Yeah.
All right, it was that one day.
Oh.
Now I did get
You
a
only
visit.
get one.
Hey, I did get a visit from my niece.
Okay.
She drove down from Woodstock. Yeah,
Okay.
she spent the afternoon there, and we cooked some burgers and dogs on the grill.
Nice.
All right. But later on, monitoring the forecast, I come to find out that the bad weather was moving in.
Oh boy.
All right. And there were tornado watches.
Oh boy.
That's just what I need right here out in the open on the
Just
lake.
like Stone Mountain.
Well, hey, Daniel, knock on wood, though. All
Yeah.
right. We only tolerated a few claps of thunder and
Okay.
a brief storm.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, south of where I was at in Rockdale County, they got hit bad by tornadoes.
Oh wow.
All right. Yeah. But for the remainder of my time there on the lake,
Mm-hmm.
it was cold and it was windy.
Ew.
Yeah. And the camping chairs had to come in.
Yeah.
And Sadie and I spent most of the time in the RV.
Mm-hmm.
But outside of that, I will go back. Yeah, I will go back to Site 45. I found a couple other sites up there that are right by the lake.
Yeah.
And that's what's really nice. If you have a campground that you enjoy going to,
Mm-hmm.
take a walk around, drive around, see what the campsites look like. Maybe there's a site better than the one you're staying at.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what I did. I did have one minor problem while I was there, Daniel.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, this was on the day I was leaving.
Mm-hmm.
It was checkout time.
Uh-huh.
Checkout was 11 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the campground up here, they have, I want to call them cul-de-sacs,
Okay.
because you drive in and you come to your site, you pull forward and you back in.
Okay.
So the only way out when you're hitched up and you're ready to leave, you got to go back to the very end of the cul-de-sac, and there's a huge turnaround there.
Okay.
Okay, and you're going to utilize all that space to turn your RV around and your truck, okay, and go ahead and leave. Now, I went ahead and I packed up and everything, and it was about 10:30, so I had about 30 minutes to spare. And I went ahead and I left my campsite. I drove down that road right there to the end of the cul-de-sac, and there are folks parked in that turnaround.
What?
Yeah, there is a truck with a boat attached to it sitting there. There is a car off to the other side just sitting there. There is no way you could turn around.
There was no one in the car?
No, nobody,
Oh,
no one in
God.
the truck. And nowhere anybody to be found. And I'm saying, now, do I go out and start knocking on doors here? So
Yeah.
I called the campground office and I told them, what I
Yeah.
was dealing with there. And fortunately, she had phone numbers to everybody back in that
nice.
corner. Well, there were some primitive campers that were down there, and they come running out of their tents. Now, they were nice about it, okay?
Right.
And that's the nice thing about camping. You don't run into people like that with attitudes. Not always.
Yeah.
Okay, but they probably didn't realize that, hey, this is what that turnaround is for.
Yeah.
What do they know? They're tent campers. Okay, but no, they went out and they moved their equipment, and I
Yeah.
was able to turn around and leave. By the time I got back down to the campground office, there were a lot of other people that were calling and complaining about it. Now, I went ahead and I sent a note into both Hall County, because Hall County is running that campground now, as well as the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers.
Okay.
You all need to put no parking signs up in that turnaround. Because, like I said, these folks, they probably didn't know.
Yeah.
Okay, and they were very cool about it, and I was able to leave, no problem there. Okay, so that brings us where we're at right now, and I'm very excited, Daniel, that in just a few days, you and I are going to be packing the bags. You only have one more day of work to
One more day. I wish I didn't have any days. It's a Monday, but one
You
more
getting
day.
all excited about this?
I'm very excited.
Okay.
I've been looking at stuff to do, places to go, disc golf places to play at. I'm excited.
Well, for folks, if you don't know what Daniel and I are talking about, is the Grand Design Rally, the Southeast Georgia Rally. They call it the SEGA Rally in Brunswick, Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
And Daniel, just like the folks over at Myrtle Beach, I'm learning my lesson. Get there early.
Yeah.
Because as we're talking right now, there are folks that have arrived.
Yeah, I was asking you the other day when you were leaving, you're like, Wednesday morning, and, I'm off that Tuesday, and I was like, heck, if he was leaving Tuesday, I'd leave Tuesday with him, but, yeah.
It is, what it is.
Yeah, that's fine.
But it's the first year that I'm getting into these rallies, and having attended the Myrtle Beach Rally, I am really pumped up about going down to Brunswick, Georgia, which is about a 5.5-hour drive from here.
It's a deal.
So we have a lot, and I've got a copy of the itinerary, which I'm going to be providing you, so
Sweet.
You can see exactly what these Grand Design rallies are all about.
Okay. Well, so while you were out at Lake Lanier, me and the better half went up to Indiana to see the eclipse. I guess it's been a few weeks since then, and we went to right in the middle of the totality. It was on the border of Indiana and Illinois. It was the first city in Indiana. I think it was called Venice or something, and a really cute town. And the eclipse was amazing and everything. And earlier that week, we went to this national forest. It was called Garden of the Gods, and they have this trail, and I got really excited about it. It's the trail from the Ohio River to the Mississippi River. And it's not a lot of mountains. It's like only maybe 1,000 feet in elevation. And I got all pumped about it because, I'm used to hiking in the mountains. So, that was a lot of fun. We explored Garden of the Gods, and that was a lot of fun. And I went to St. Louis for the first time, and that was a lot of fun. We went to the zoo. Took all day. That zoo is amazing. And, we had a lot of fun.
Were there a lot of other folks that came out to watch the eclipse?
Oh, yeah. I mean, there was a bunch of cities, and some of the cities I know that, down in Texas, it was a little cloudy, but for us, perfect. It was perfect. I'll have to send you some pictures, and it's life-changing. So we watched it. It was done. It was, I was on cloud 9 for a day or two, and right after that, we were looking to see when the next one is. And so our big thing, 2027, we're going to go to Cairo, Egypt, and there's going to be an eclipse, the longest eclipse in over a century. So that's the big thing.
Well, I know you're not taking your pop-up with you.
Nope. Maybe take a tent or something. Maybe I don't know what I'm doing, but I know I'm going. I don't know, but it is the most amazing thing, and if I could suggest everyone see it, they need to see it at least once in their life.
Well, this is not the first time I'm hearing this, because my brother basically did the same thing as you. He went over to Ohio to watch the eclipse. And down here in Georgia, where, really you don't get a good view of it from what I understand. Yeah. I was sitting on my sofa looking out the back door, and it was a really weird.
Yeah, it gets a little dark.
It does. Okay, and it was here and gone.
Yeah,
and but that didn't faze me at all.
Good news, Skip. In 2078, there will be a totality in Atlanta. So when you're 150?
If I'm still around, I want a full report.
I'll be 90. Well, let's just put it this way: I'll be 97 if I last that long.
Wow.
Yeah,
okay,
that's my goal in life. I'm I got to make it to 97, so I actually see totality in my hometown. I could, my last breath, I could be on top of Stone Mountain seeing the eclipse, then I could die.
Well, hopefully, Daniel, the next time, aside from Egypt now, if you're going to go out on an adventure like that, plan ahead so you can take your pop-up camper with you.
I know.
And really enjoy what we do enjoy.
Mm-hmm. I know there's one in the States in 2048 or something.
Mm-hmm.
It's a while. We just got lucky with 2 recently, but it's the most amazing thing in the world.
Well, there's something else I want to talk about here today, Daniel. In this, ever since buying this RV, I sit down often and I watch YouTube videos, not really to learn about repairing and things like that. I've got my own system in place, you know, when I have to deal with minor issues, and I go ahead and do that. But one of the things I enjoy watching on YouTube is seeing how other people decked out the inside of their RV.
Oh, yeah.
What are they doing to make it more livable, to make it more feel like home? Okay.
I think when we went to the campers or the expo downtown, we saw, like, I think there was a company that could, like, redo your whole pop-up, or not, I mean, your whole RV to make it look like more homey. It doesn't look so, you know, sterile and, you know, brown and beige and stuff.
Well, I started right off the bat after I bought that RV because I have always been an outdoor type person.
Yeah.
All right. And I bought the bedroom linen and everything that I needed, the comforter, to kind of reflect my lifestyle. Right. And like watching some of the folks on YouTube and, you know, seeing these little plaques up there, say like Home Sweet Home, and, you know, the RV is the place to be, and what have you. You know, of course, I've got white-tailed deer canvases inside my RV. So, yeah, but I'm always looking for a little bit more. Now, one of the things that I do have a problem with, Daniel, and it's not just focused on this specific type of RV. All right, I've got a nice comforter. Well, not a comforter. I've got a recliner in there. You've been sitting there. We did a show out there once before.
Nice.
And it's very, very comfortable. The problem I have, Daniel, is when I'm in there, what little time that I'm watching television, all right, I've got one of those little Roku remotes that came with it. You lose that remote down inside that recliner.
Oh, boy.
And it's a bear trying to fish it out of there. It's tough trying to find it. Where did it go? I've lost that remote on more occasions than I care to talk about.
You know, there's a Roku app. You can hook up your TV.
I don't want to mess with the Roku app. I want my remote. Okay.
But I'm just saying. So, you know, the app or the Roku could be second, and the app could be first.
Well,
so you don't lose it.
Okay. So you can ask me now, why has it taken me so long to get a remote holder to put on the wall? All right. And here, folks, I'm going to show it to you if you're watching it on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I've got a place now to park my remote.
There you go.
And call me crazy if you want to.
All right.
After buying that remote holder, all right, I went out and invested in 3 more.
Oh, boy.
I've got one now for the other side of the recliner.
Oh, boy.
And I've got 2 on either side of the bed.
And 1 remote, right?
No, there's actually 2. I got one. I got one for the DVD player, but I keep them both together. I was
going to call you crazy, but yeah, I guess I'll.
Well, here's the thing, Daniel, and you know, it's me. I always think things through.
You do.
All right. I'm thinking about when I go in and decide I'm going to watch TV.
Yeah.
And I got that remote in hand. I've got to look to see what side of the sofa that Sadie is sitting on. That will determine where I'm going to sit.
There you go.
And that will be the remote holder that I will use.
Yeah, that's
Same thing in bed, all right?
Yeah.
You think this puppy sleeps at the base of the bed? Oh, no. Oh, no, she's right up there in bed with me.
Oh,
so
boy.
What side she's going to go ahead and claim, that's the, I'll be sleeping on the opposite side.
Okay.
But I've got places now to go ahead and keep those remote holders.
Okay.
I'm always looking for things to improve my life on the road.
I see.
Now, my brother, okay, he came down and he was visiting with me. He was camping with me when I was in Myrtle Beach. And a couple of weeks ago, he sent me a text message. He says, you know, here's something you may want to consider. And I should have thought of this a long time ago. All right. In my particular RV, with the one that the 200 MK, the sink faucet in the bathroom. All right. It is a small faucet.
Right.
And you really got to work your hands under there. He says you should be able to locate a better faucet for that. So sure enough, I found one on Amazon.
Really?
Okay.
You replaced it?
And I replaced it. Yes.
Oh.
It was a very good decision to make.
Interesting.
Now, you know, there's always going to be little things that you're going to come up with. It's not really going to add any weight to the RV and the weight you're towing around. But there's a couple other things like an ice maker. Because, you know, we all love our summer and springtime camping. Yeah, and I've always got some cold drinks on hand. All right, so you got to have ice. And I don't like bringing bagged ice. I like making my own if I can.
Yeah, those things are nice. Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I've got a couple little things that, that I still want to buy for it. And it's 3 years old, and here I am, Daniel.
Yeah.
And still going strong.
Oh, definitely.
And it's things like this what keep us pumped up and excited and, make us look forward to our next camping trip.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll take your pop-up camper, for example.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I've never bought used before.
Yeah.
All right. And there's nothing wrong with what you did, okay? You've got a nice pop-up camper there.
Yeah.
But if I was in your position, okay, and I would be just like you.
Mm-hmm.
There's things right now that, we've talked about before. You have things in your RV that you don't use, but they are not working.
Mm-hmm.
Your sink, for example.
Yeah.
Okay. You also,
heater.
yeah, and your furnace because you don't have a propane tank at the front.
Yeah.
Right. I would be just like you. Maybe I don't need it, okay, but I want it to work.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay? And, and
I'm like that with cars, too.
yeah. And well, I'll tell you what, you haven't gone out this year camping with your pop-up camper.
Not yet.
It's coming up. Okay. But we're going to work on that.
Okay.
Okay. And
Look at those
Daniel, that's what friends do.
All right.
Okay.
I'm down.
So, yeah. We're going to go ahead and get you all fixed up and, hopefully, your work schedule will coincide with your wife's work schedule and, your time off and we'll get together at a campground somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
So, we've got a whole lot to look forward to,
I can't wait till next week. I can't wait till the end of tomorrow.
Yeah, it's a countdown, Daniel.
It is.
It gets very, very, very exciting as you get to that particular point. Now, I'm going to be pulling out of the driveway about 6 in the morning,
Mm-hmm.
all right, because I want to get an early start. And we all know what traffic is like in the metro Atlanta area. If you want to beat that rush hour traffic, you got to get an early start.
Mm-hmm.
So it gives me time to actually take my sweet old time getting down there.
Yeah.
Okay. You can pull off into the truck stops, and if you need to, either rest
You
areas.
say you're going to make it before me. I hope so, because we don't know where we're staying.
Well, okay. Well, Daniel, don't worry about that. You right now concentrate on having a great time.
I can't wait.
Okay.
I'm so pumped.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
And I'm counting on the weather, like you say. It's
looks
supposed
good.
to be nice.
It looks pretty good.
Okay. And if
No rain.
it stays that way, this rally's going to be great.
Mhm.
The one in Myrtle Beach was great also, but we had rain to deal with out there.
Ugh.
So, it happens. You can't rule out the possibility of, something going to happen.
Mhm.
But, at least, we're RVers.
Yep.
Okay. We can go to RV and relax regardless of what the weather's going to be like.
Mhm.
I have pulled into some of these Army Corps sites on many occasions when I come to find out it's going to be raining and the Welcome Center was telling me, hey, we just had some tent campers cancel because of the rain.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And it's
Yeah,
just very,
I mean,
very disappointing.
When we do our camping trips, we figure out, okay, if it's one day that's going to rain, we're going to do like the indoor stuff. We're going to do like a cave or an old house or something indoors or go to the mall or whatever. But like we try to plan out indoor stuff for those rainy days. So.
Well, it sounds like that you already got some plans outside of the.
I got a lot of plans.
Yeah. So you've been to Brunswick before.
I have.
Okay. So
It's near St. Simon's Island. I mean, we went to St. Simon's Island, and that's where all the crowd goes. And Brunswick is pretty close to Jekyll Island, and that's where all the billionaires were back in the day. And that's a really cool area. Have you ever been to Jekyll Island?
No.
It's really nice. It's got a convention center. It's got a campground. It's got a hotel. It's got a 4-H center. It's really cool, and it's got like a marshland and. It's really cool down there. It's really easy, laid back, ocean life.
Well, Daniel, right before the show today, I mean, we were sitting out there looking at a YouTube video of the Coastal Georgia RV Resort where this rally is going to be held.
Mm-hmm.
And it is a very nice campground, very clean campground.
Yeah.
All right. And, and it's things like this that really get me excited and wish I was driving out there tomorrow instead of on Wednesday. But I've still got a few things to do.
Me too.
And get all prepared
stuff.
for this trip here. And it's going to be many, many other trips like this that we're going to have happen.
Can't wait.
And I can't wait for some of the rallies coming up next year in 2025.
I'll try to do as many as I can.
Okay. Maybe get you inside a Grand Design RV.
Oh, boy.
Well, we're going to work on that. But right now, Daniel, it's time for our featured campground of the week, and that is right here on the Happy Camper Radio Show.
Happy Camper Radio.
Daniel, it will be a nice drive out to the state of Michigan.
Aha.
Is that very far from where you were camping?
I was in Illinois.
Is that a neighboring state?
Michigan is a little further north.
Well, okay. Well, maybe you should have taken your pop-up camper up there with you, okay? Because you could travel a little bit further. And, if I ever get out to Michigan, there's some nice campgrounds out there, including the Rollways Campground. And it's located near South Branch, Michigan. Rollways Campground is located 7 miles from Hale, Michigan, along the beautiful Sable River.
It's Hell, Michigan.
Hell, Michigan.
They like to emphasize that. That was a thing. When I was a kid, I read Ripley's Believe It or Not, and that told me that there was a Hell, Michigan.
H-A-L-E, we'll leave it alone.
Oh, is it Hale? No, I think it's H-E-L-L. No, there is a Hell, Michigan.
No, this is Hale, Michigan, okay?
Well, there's a Hell, too.
But anyway, this site was built in 1909, long before we came around. Okay, It was one of the first campgrounds established in the Huron National Forest. The space is small and secluded and features an observation area, picnic grounds, and log shelter. The facility is located off the River Scenic National Byway in northeast Lower Michigan. The Byway showcases incredible views of the Sable River Valley. I have a lot of information here for you, Daniel, and it's right there on the Happy Camper Radio website. Check out the homepage there and just click on that featured campground tab. You'll find all of the information you need right there. And remember to check at the very bottom of the website there, the need to know before you go items. There's quite a few of them up there. Don't be caught by surprise. All right. And anywhere you go, Daniel, always remember, don't move firewood. Protect your forest from those tree-killing pests by purchasing your firewood locally and burning it right there on site. For more information, visit don'tmovefirewood.org. I'm going to get in my RV. Now, I'm not going to go to Michigan right now, okay? Because
the Midwest,
Brunswick...
here's another thing I was going to say. The Midwest, you can tell, I'd say like right after Kentucky when we went to Indiana, it is a different part of the country. You can definitely tell there's a difference. So I encourage everyone to experience every different part of the country because they all have their thing.
Okay, well,
Sorry.
Yeah, Daniel, okay, yeah, you can go ahead and put your 2 cents in there, but, I'll tell you what, this is a great campground if you ever want to get out to the state of Michigan, and check this one out here, okay? It's the Rollways Campground, and it is our featured campground of the week, Daniel, right here on the Happy Camper Radio Show.
Skip and Daniel. HappyCamperRadio.com.
And if you have a campground you'd like for us to feature on the program, get in touch with me, Skip, S-K-I-P, at HappyCamperRadio.com, or this gentleman right here.
Hey, it's Daniel at HappyCamperRadio.com.
Okay, this is the first time I see you don't have something on your shirt.
Nope, not today.
Okay? You're getting better. Hey, by all means, if you're going to go ahead and recommend a campground, be sure to include a link to the campground website. Daniel, we got some packing to do.
Yes,
we got some
do.
more excitement to build up, and we're going to be on the road here in just a few days. So, yeah, when I get down there, Daniel, I got the food menu already worked out, okay? So
I'm not packing any food.
You don't have to worry about that. I've got that much covered, okay? But yeah, we'll have a great time. Remember, friends, every pet deserves a loving home. I want you to do exactly as I did. Visit your local shelter and adopt a pet today. We're on the web 24/7 at www.happycamperradio.com. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on X. And by all means, subscribe to our YouTube channel. The Happy Camper Radio Show is a presentation of Skip Huber Productions. I'm Skip. I am a happy camper. Daniel's a happy camper. And don't tease my dog down there, okay?
No promises.
We're going to make a happy camper out of you. We'll be talking to you real soon. Thanks for joining us, everybody. This is Happy Camper Radio.